Excitement and anticipation is over. The British and Irish Lions tour is here. Will they live up to all the hype? Is the squad strong enough to come over to Oz and win 9 games out of 9? They have 10 games all up, a tight schedule, but the quality within this squad, 8 or 9 out of 10 games to win, nothing less. Before we get into it, let me know in the comments, how do you see this tour playing out? Who are you most excited to see? Which game are you most excited to watch? Let me know in the comments. Are you coming over to Australia to watch? Let me know in the comments. Which games are you going to watch? Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So kickoff versus Las Pumas versus Argentina is tomorrow. It's Friday here in Australia and the kickoff is tomorrow. The tour starts tomorrow. How exciting. First squad has been put out. And looking at the squad that has been put out for British and Irish Lions is very, very strong to start off their tour. Versus Argentina, of course. And oh man, very, very strong. Love it. Very close to my predicted squad. I think there was 2 or 3 that I missed. So I had Henry Pollock starting instead of Tom Curry. That was the one that I missed. And then I had Elliot Daly starting instead of Marcus Smith at fullback. So only 2 that I missed, I'm pretty sure. The rest, pretty spot on, and man, very, very strong. Obviously, the Leinster, Leicester, and Bath players sitting out this round because they've just come off the back of finals games. But man, still very, very strong squad. And like I said when I put my video out for the predicted team, there's no one's locked in. So this is a trial for the big Wallabies tests for sure. So these guys will be putting their hands up massively. I'm very excited to see how that centre pair go. Bundy Aki and Toi Polotu. Good luck trying to stop them, man. Oh, wow. That front row looks very strong as well. And then obviously, Maro Toje and Byrne, which I think are going to be the starting lock pair. Be interesting to see how they go. I'm also looking forward to Jack Morgan. Man, literally everyone in the squad. Duan van der Merwe, I want to see how he goes. Tommy Freeman, fantastic. And then the combination of Alex Mitchell and Finn Smith will be very, very exciting as well. With the Argentinian side, there's a few players sitting out that are still involved in the top 14. So again, it's not their strongest side that they can put out, but still a very, very strong side. You got your Pablo Materas there, Santiago Carreras, who's played really well for Gloucester this year. At fullback is there. Whew, man, it's here. How exciting. I think in this game, it's going to be interesting to see how the British and Irish Lions go about how they want to play, what sort of style they want to play. Yes, they haven't had much time together, but still these are pro athletes. These guys just get in. They know what needs to be done. And if you've got a coaching crew like Andy Farrell and the guys that he's got in and around him, they should have a good idea of how they want to play. And this game is a perfect opportunity for that. And as a talker of rugby, I'm very interested to see how that goes and how they play attacking-wise, defensively, kicking-wise, expansive, how they play the ball. Like they've got some very exciting players in that backline or in that whole team. Hopefully they keep the ball in hand and let's play some rugby. I'm very, very excited for that. It's a 5 a.m. kickoff tomorrow morning here in Australia. I'll be up, ready to go to watch that. So that'll be very exciting. And I've got British and Irish Lions to win that one by about 8 or 10 points. I'm feeling that. And then they come over and then it is bang, bang, bang. 2 games per week for 5 weeks. A hectic, hectic schedule. They come up against teams. These teams will be frothing at the mouth to play the British and Irish Lions. British and Irish Lions come around, so once every 12 years, you might never ever play against them again. Some guys are very, very lucky and fortunate to have played them twice. Will Skelton might be one of those guys who played in 2013. He played versus them when he was involved with the Waratahs, and I'm sure this year he'll be involved with the Wallabies. James O'Connor, who played in 2013. And I think this year he'll be, while he's not involved yet with the Wallabies, he might still be involved, but I definitely think he'll be involved in that Australia, New Zealand Invitational team. Get him in there. That'll be awesome for him. But like I said, these teams that come up against the British and Irish Lions will be frothing at the mouth, ready to I wouldn't say take heads, but absolutely go into those games with everything they've got. It's a massive opportunity for them. Like I said, it's once in a lifetime sort of thing. So very, very exciting to watch those games. It's going to be exciting to watch those games, to play those games. And then for guys like the British and Irish Lions squad, you're going to have the midweek squad and you're going to have the main squad. Those midweek squad guys, they want to play in the main games. They want to play versus the Wallabies. So they'll also be coming out with everything they've got. Again, for them, this only happens every 4 years. And the chances of you getting on a tour it doesn't happen all the time. There's only a handful of guys that have played more than one tour on this tour, a ton of newbies. Very, very exciting stuff. I think for the British and Irish Lions, I think the biggest thing for them will be around recovery and injury prevention. You can't really prevent some injuries. The best you can do is obviously the best that these guys are going to do with regards to their physios, their conditioning coaches and all of that. But sometimes there's a bit of luck. And in rugby, sometimes you can have bad luck or sometimes you can have really good luck. So I think around injuries will play a massive role because you don't want to be getting too many injuries. You're going to have to fly guys out. They have to then take time to get to know everyone and get to know how the teams want to play. So that'll be a big one. And then just cohesion, I think, the chemistry and how this British and Irish Lions team gel together. That'll be a big one for sure. So out of the Australian Super Rugby teams, you got Force, Western Force first, then Reds, then Waratahs, then Brumbies. The last time British and Irish Lions played the Western Force, they won 69-17. The last time they played the Reds, they won 22-12. The last time they played the Waratahs was 47-17. And then the last time they played the Brumbies won 14-12. This was back in 2013. That was one of two losses British and Irish Lions had that year. The other one coming versus the Wallabies. Can it happen again? I think Brumbies are probably the favourites out of the Australian teams to get a scalp there. But overall, the overall improvement of Australian rugby at the moment is fantastic. So all of these teams will definitely be gunning for it. Western Force have got a strong squad. Reds do, Waratahs do, and Brumbies do as well. But on the other hand, British and Irish Lions got a very strong squad as well. So by the time it gets to the Brumbies, yes, there might be some injuries that have happened along the way. But on the flip side, for the British and Irish Lions, they could be really gelling and cohesion, like chemistry, everything can be there. So they can be on song, chucking that pigskin around and just playing lovely, lovely to watch rugby and executing that on the field as well. So out of those 4 games, I don't see any of those unless there's freak weather or some bad injuries during the game. Even with a midweek squad that the British and Irish Lions are going to put out, I think they still will be too strong for all 4 Wallabies or all 4 Australian Super Rugby sides, but they will be strong and hotly contested and physical, and man, there'll be some lovely tries scored. There'll be some fisticuffs. There'll be some how you doing, some how's your mother sort of thing. Definitely be a bit of that, but it's gonna be good. So I've got them beating Argentina. I've got them beating Force, beating Reds, beating Waratahs, and beating the Brumbies. So I've got them 5 from 5 for now. We go on. The next 2 games is versus the Australian and New Zealand Invitational and First Nations Pacifica starting XV. So the last time they were here, they played versus Country New South Wales, where British and Irish Lions won 64-0, and then they played versus the Rebels, which was 35-0. This year is going to be a totally different ball game. The coaches that have been put forward for those sides, for the Oz New Zealand Invitational and the First Nations Pacifica team, unreal, man. They're going to bring in some players for sure, and it's going to be 2 big. I think out of those 2, I think the Oz New Zealand Invitational stands a chance to win. So out of those 2 games, I'm going to give one of them to the Oz Invitational, right? The Oz New Zealand Invitational. That means British and Irish Lions are dropping. So they've got 6 out of 7. This is what I'm predicting, or I think, right? Okay, and those are going to be tough games. That's not going to be walk in the park. That's not going to be like the last time they were here where they played versus New South Wales country. It's not going to be. It's going to be tough. It's going to be physical, and there's going to be some big collisions, big tries scored in those games for sure. Right, then we've got the 3 Wallabies tests. Okay, the last time they played versus the Wallabies in the first test, they won 21-23. Then the Wallabies won 16-15 in the second test, and the last test, British and Irish Lions 41-16. So won the series 2-3. I'm giving the Wallabies, out of these 3 games, I'm giving them 1 again. So I think out of the whole tour, there's going to be 2 losses for the British and Irish Lions. While the Wallabies have made massive inroads under Joe Schmidt, I do still think they're on the way up. They're not a fully gelled and together squad. While saying that, like I said, the inroads, everything they've done, how he's brought that squad together, Joe Schmidt over the last year and a half, has been sensational. He's picking the right players, the players in form, and he's backing a lot of his players as well. So they're playing a good, expansive style of play because they've got players that can do that. They've got a good kicking game, or a structured kicking game as well, really focusing on their set piece as well. So lineouts and scrums, a strong part of their game, which in the international level it is. And then the physicality is also one. And that's going to be, you're going to have to nail your set piece, and you have to be very physical versus the British and Irish Lions. They're not going to give you much. So every opportunity you get, you need to score points too. And then on the other hand, for the British and Irish Lions, I think it's how well they get through the midweek games and then into the test games. Because if you get a ton of injuries in the midweek games, that means you play your tests on the weekend. Then there's another midweek game. It's like you're then filtering through players. So that rest and recovery and luck through injuries is a big part, and how well, obviously, they gel together. From bits of content I've seen on socials, it's looking really good. Andy Farrell has built an environment for them to thrive in. And like he said, the players aren't worrying about impressing the other teams. They just want to impress each other. And that usually builds cohesion and chemistry around the team. You can't put into words how excited I am for this tour. It's going to be massive. I'm covering it all. What do you guys think? Out of 10 games, how many games are British and Irish Lions going to win? Who's going to be your man of the series? Who's going to be your standout? I can't wait for it. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye.